Welcome to the channel and to this 2,000 point match play game between the Bugs and the Custodes. Today on the channel, a splinter of High Fleet Kraken will be rampaging through these hallowed ruins that works, and the Shadow Keepers of the Golden Legion will be here to push them back. A 2,000 point match play game, and it's no man's land. We've got this cross in the middle that you can see here. This has got a mission specific rule, which is you're not allowed to deploy any scout moves or end up in no man's land before the first game turns. And in match play game, the scoring for the primaries is quite simple. 5 points for an objective, 10 points for 2 objectives or more, and an additional 5 points if you score more objectives than your opponent. Now you score them at the start of a battle round, and you start scoring them in turn 2, and you can have up to 45 points. Basically, make sure you're on objectives at the beginning of your turn to score as many points as possible, up to 45 in total. Then there's lots of secondaries to pick from, and you can get up to 45 points for the secondaries. We have both picked the mission secondary, which is hold the center objective. If you hold the center objective at the end of your turn, you get the equivalent number of points that it is the turn number. So in turn 1, if you're on it, you'll get a point at the end of your turn. Potentially, I could get it on it at the end of my turn and get a point, and then my opponent could get it on it at the end of his turn after shooting and then assaulting the unit that was on it and get a point as well. But in turn 5, it would be worth 5 points. So we're both fighting over the middle, which makes it epic. And the other objectives for the Custodes are thin their ranks and bring it down. Basically, they just want to kill as much as possible. But mine are domination and assassinate. I want to score as many objectives as I can and assassinate their characters. We'll talk about it as the mission goes on. And we welcome back to the channel. Actually, we welcome to YouTube for the first time. Quipster, say hi, Quipster.
Hi, Quipster. Hello, new internet friends.
You've been on DZ quite a bit.
Yes, just a little bit.
And on podcasts and on all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
And we've seen your Custodes before. However, lockdown happened and you were frantically painting new models.
Yes, I did spend 2 months painting 6 large Terminators.
2 months on 6 models.
Yes, it was so worth it though.
They are gorgeous. Your Custodes are very, very pretty.
Yeah, low model count means you can spend way too much time per model.
You've spent 6 months on 2 models. That's way too much time.
So much time.
And your next army is Imperial Fists.
Yes, it is.
Are you going to spend as much time painting them up?
It's all contrast.
Okay, that's a no then.
Well, let's not go too crazy.
No, but contrast is good though. I like contrast. And contrast, that yellow on contrast.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful colour.
Beautiful.
Have you started on them yet?
Yes, I've got about 600 points painted and about 2,000 points unbuilt. So
Nice.
it's going to be really good.
Why did you pick the fists?
Amusingly, I went to a test day for contrast paints.
Right, okay.
And I painted the back of an intercessor leg yellow.
Yeah.
I was just like, yep, I want a whole army of that.
Cool.
That was it.
Nice. So it was the colour that actually drove you to it because it looks so sweet.
Yes.
And yellow was one of those colours, and it's still one of those colours that's really, really hard to paint. Yellow and white, getting them down properly, those are hard colours to paint, and black. But yellow and white mainly. And so yellow contrast is magic.
I have 2 of the hardest colours to paint in both armies.
Nice. He likes pain. So thanks for coming down.
That's good to be
All
here.
the way from London. Is London still locked, or can you move around now?
You can move around. You can go to restaurants.
Right.
Have dinner with friends.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
Scary, but it's okay.
Sorry you had to come to Swindon.
Swindon is a lovely place.
I got told off by someone on the street on that saying, "Oh, I'm from Swindon. How dare you?" I was like, "I'm from Swindon. I can slag it off. I know how bad it is."
I'm from Watford. I understand your pain.
That's Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand.
Yeah, I understand. So we're deploying lengthways. We don't know who's got what table edge yet. Lots of ruins on this table. If ruins are over 5 inches tall, they completely block line of sight, like these ones. And what we're going to do is you can clearly see the edge of the terrain piece here. So someone shooting through here would not be able to see each other because there's a steaming, smoking ruin in between them. Ruins are not difficult terrain here, so it isn't -2 to moving through. but craters, and barricades are. So if you look across the table, there's actually quite a lot of places where movement will be slowed down by 2 inches. And this big thing will entirely block line of sight for people shooting through it. But if you're in it, you'll have a commanding view because you can shoot people in ruins and you can shoot out of ruins. You just can't shoot through them. So that's probably why, well, that's why I picked that as my objective, and that's why you probably picked it as well. It's a commanding place to be.
Precisely.
So there's actually quite a lot of line of sight blocking on this table. There's also, if you're in it and you're trying to shoot out of it and the line of sight is blocked, it's blocked. So, and I've blocked off a few windows here or there as well, just to make things interesting, because we want this to be a mobile game. Ruins are from GameMat.eu. The board is from GameMat.eu. You're from London.
I am from London.
I'm from Swindon. And let's go have a look at these armies. Right, this is 2,000 points worth of Tyranids. It's high fleet Kraken, which means they can fall back and charge, and you roll 3d6 when they advance and pick the highest. It makes them a fast army. Warlord traits, haven't got any. What I did, instead of picking a warlord trait, is give this guy Dermic Symbiosis, so he has a 5-up invulnerable save, because he's my only main big monster gun boat here on the table. He's the gun, and then I've got some Hive Guard with Impaler Cannons, which also have some gun. There are other guns as well, of course, the Spit from the Screamer, the Essential Bolt Guns from the Termagants here, but they're my big shooting units there. And yeah, you can give up a warlord trait to give this guy Dermic Symbiosis from the Psychic Awakening book. Another thing you can get from the Psychic Awakening book is Resonance Barb, which I've given this to this Broodlord, which means he can cast 2 powers and he gets +1 to cast. And I've also given him the Psychic power, the Lure, or Synaptic Lure from Psychic Awakening as well. So he can point at a unit, and then any Tyranids that charge that unit get re-roll a charge, which makes Broodlords and Genestealers even better, because Broodlords and Genestealers can advance and charge, and then having a re-roll to charge as well means that these guys are looking for some Custodes blood, looking to peel open that shiny armor and get to the soft meat. The Neurothrope will be my warlord, and Kevin is coming. Kevin is coming along. I've given him the Horror and Onslaught. So the Swarm Lord is here. You think you're tough in close combat. I am tougher in close combat. He is a 12 wound character, so he can be targeted, but he's got many attacks. And he likes to get very choppy chop with those swords there, so he should be good. The next thing I've brought, which I think is the key to winning a lot of 9th edition games, is 86 troops.
Christ.
Genestealers and loads of Termagants, and they're in units of 14, I think, because of points. So yeah, many troops to score out and spread out and score objectives, and then some Zoanthropes. They're just too good not to bring. A unit of 6 of them means that their smite is D3 plus 3. When there's 4 or 5 of them, then it's 2d3 damage smite. And their smite is 6 inches longer. So you don't need to roll to hit or anything. You just cast the psychic power. And remember, when there's a Neurothrope next to your Zoanthropes, you're re-rolling 1s on those psychic tests. They've also got a second psychic power, Psychic Scream, which is basically like another smite. So they're shooting with mind bullets. The Hive Guard are shooting with bugs that swing round corners. He's shooting with acid, which he spits out of his, builds up in his gut and spits it out of his right arm there. So I've got acid, I've got bugs, I've got mine bullets. That's pretty much it for the shots. The rest of the army is going to be rampaging straight towards the Custodes and spreading out all over the place. And then it will be a glorious victory for the hive mind. And here we have significantly less models. It's a patrol detachment of Custodes, the Shadowkeepers. It still gives you 12 command points though.
Yes, it does.
And you brought a lot of Terminators.
I have brought so many Terminators.
Not they're expensive.
Extremely. So, do you want me to go through it?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so in the front we've got 2 HQ choices.
Okay.
We've got Trajan Valoris.
Yes.
And the Shield Captain. So I start with 12 CP and I've spent 2 on Shield Captain Achilles over here.
Okay.
I've given him an extra Warlord trait,
Right.
which is Impregnable Mind, which is a deny.
Okay.
I think I get +1 to that as well.
Okay.
He's also got the Captain Commander strat on him, and it's basically a list of things that you can give him.
Right.
and he gets CP back when I spend them on a 5-up.
Okay.
He's also got the relic, which makes him 3-up and vulnerable.
Right.
So yeah, he's got a lot of things.
So he's command point farming with a 3-up and vulnerable save.
Yes.
Are you going to need all those command points? You don't have very many models.
You have no idea.
Right.
One thing we talked about as well, Trajan Valoris is going to be my warlord.
Okay.
His warlord trait is anything in a 12-inch radius gets heroic intervention.
Yes.
Which is super good. Situational, but super good. Also, his moment shackle ability has changed a little bit. It used to be the case that you would get D3 command points back once per battle. Now it's once per battle, the next strat is free.
Yeah.
Which is just so much better.
So you can pick an expensive strat and just pop it. No
Precisely.
problem. And it should be worth mentioning that I have got Assassinate as one of my secondaries. So I want to kill these guys.
Yes, you do.
And he can get his up to a 3-up and bun as well.
He does, yes.
And his 3-up and bun.
Yep.
But this guy, has he got a shield?
He doesn't have a shield.
No.
He's got an axe.
And
so...
now, normally you have the banner that's -1 to hit, but this time you brought the other one?
Yes. So this time, as there's basically no shooting, his banner is +1 attack to
Right.
everything in 6 inches, I think.
Including Trajan, including this, and including all the goddamn Terminators.
So
Okay.
actually, let's move on to the Terminators.
Yes.
This is a 9 Alaris Terminator, essentially bomb.
And why are you deploying them all as one big unit?
Because it's cool.
Okay. But
No.
also there's a strat where you can...
Yes, there's a strat called Unleash the Lions, which is basically you play at the beginning of the movement phase, and every single model then becomes its own unit, and
Yeah.
you can put them in all different directions.
Yeah, they don't gain the character keyword, but they come their own unit.
Yes, precisely.
And it's worth mentioning that everything in the Custodes list, apart from the Dreadnought, counts as scoring, counts as objective secured.
Yep, everything.
So splitting these guys off all over the place, we might see that happen.
That might be hilarious.
But this is one hell of a bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Have they all got axes?
They've all got axes.
All of them.
Every single one. Another thing to mention as well, actually.
Strength 8 axes.
Yep. Everything in the army, every single model in the army as well, also is named. And they've all got nameplates. So there's only 21 models in the army. So when one of them dies, like, I can tell you which one, like, who it is.
Okay.
I also keep a spreadsheet with a roll of honor per model. So if they do something cool on the board, I write it down in their roll of honor. Because I'm that kind of nerd.
No, it's a beautiful thing. I've actually seen your roll of honor with the deeds for each of these heroes of the Imperium. The Adeptus Terra records every deployment of the Custodes as a victory anyway. So you've won. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming. Where are we going next?
Precisely. Next, we are going to the Bikers.
Bikers.
This is another
I like
unit.
Bikers.
Oh, they're so good. This is another unit I finished in lockdown. It's just a unit of Bikers. They've got Hurricane Bolters, and they're really, really good.
Okay. So there's your speed that you can move around, but these guys can deep strike anyway, so you have mobility.
Precisely.
And then 2 units of troops.
Yes, 2 years ago, because this is a patrol detachment.
3-up and Vun there, 3-up and Vun there.
In fact, 2 3-up and vulnerables, and 2 3-up and vulnerables.
Ah, dear. Okay, yeah.
And then in the back, we've got Ancient Belphegor, who is my Telemon Dreadnought.
Nice.
He's got the twin Arachnus Storm Cannons, I believe they're called.
Yes.
And basically what that means is they have 2 profiles. One is good for killing, like, hordes, and one is good for killing tanks.
Yes.
So this is a unit you're going to see in every single Custodes list now. They're just so good. However, they did get a bit of a nerf. They're no longer objective secured.
No. They got a 5-up and vulnerable save, right?
4-up and vulnerable.
Really?
Yep.
You
So
sure?
it's a 2-up standard, 4-up and vulnerable, 6-up feel no pain.
Nasty. How many wounds?
14.
14 wounds.
And there's also a strat to -1 damage.
Oh, I'm going to punch him.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm going to punch him so hard.
So, on top of that as well,
Yes.
Psychic Awakening was amazing narratively for Custodes as well, because previously in the Codex, if you painted your Custodes as Shadow Keepers, as Dreadhost, as Solar Watch, it didn't mean anything, it was just a cool colour.
Yeah.
Now, they're actually, in the same way that Thousand Suns have different like orders, and they get a strat, a warlord trait, and a relic, the same is true of Custodes.
Okay.
So the Shadow Keepers have their own strat, warlord trait, etc. So
Okay.
the Shadow Keeper's strat is the one I'm probably going to be using, is -1 strength from incoming attacks during that phase
Okay. On a unit.
on a unit.
So you could pick these guys and say everything that hits them this phase, -1 strength.
Yep.
That's quite pokey.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
I've used it every game so far.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I believe that is everything.
Quipster, you got a channel? Tell us about your channel.
Yes, I have a channel. If you go to Quipster Nerd, you'll see all the things I've been posting. I've got a podcast up, and I've been making videos to do with how the hobby and the tabletop.
Is that a YouTube thing or an
It is a
Insta
YouTube
thing? That's a YouTube
if you go to Quipster Nerd.
You've told me this before, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Email me the thing, and I'll put a link in.
I'll send you all the things.
Send me the stuff and the things.
Yes. Oh, follow me on Instagram and follow Winters on Instagram. Those will be in the description as well.
Will they?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, we're deployed. The Tyranids will be coming on this way. I won the roll-off, and there's no units in reserve for the Tyranids. The idea is just to swarm forward and take as much board as possible. And there's Kevin, who's not my warlord, but he will be rampaging up the table, taking the fight to the Golden Boys. My warlord is here with the Neurothropes, and there's all the Broodlords and the Gene Stealers as well. There is a swarm ready to push forward, and then the Hive Guard and Zoanthrope Neurothropes just provide the backfield Daka. Yes, the Tyrannofex is somewhat exposed over on that flank there, but the range of his acid spray is 18, so as soon as the units in front of him burst forward, he should be relatively covered, and he has got enough range to hit the two objectives in the middle of the table. Quipster put his bikers round this way to swing round here along with the guys on foot, along with the Custodian Guard, and he's chosen not to deploy his Terminators in reserve. He could have left this huge chunk off the table here and just had some things putting up the table, but honestly, I think that's the right call, because if he doesn't get turn one, I could be so far up the table here that they'll just have to deploy down there anyway. There would be an option for him to deep strike in the back and start hitting me in the rear, but there are no objectives down here for him to grab, and it's all about scoring points. It's not just about killing stuff. And remember, he wants to pull forward and score the objectives at the start of his turn, score the centre objective at the end of his turn, and he's got bring it down and thin their ranks. He's going to get points for every single 10 of every little model he kills, and he's going to get 3 extra points for killing the Tyrannofex, Kevin, and the Screamer Killer there. My plan is take the objectives, the primaries, at the beginning of the turn, but I've also got Domination for scoring more objectives than him at the end of the turn, and the middle one. I want to swarm across the battle grid and take as much field as I can, and kill his 3 characters. So 9 points there for killing his characters. He's got 9 points here for killing my monsters. And yeah, deploying the Terminators like that seems to be the right choice. But now, we need to roll off so he goes first.
Yes, we do.
Would you like to roll first, sir?
I would like to roll first.
Okay.
That's
4. That's a 4. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Let's do it again. I rolled a 1. You rolled
4.
another 4. You can choose whether you want to go first or second.
I want to go first.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely
So you're closer, so my first turn charge absolutely hits you. Am I
Yep.
already putting bad ideas in your head? I'm
Yep.
playing with your brain
Mind games.
as we go into Custodes. Turn 1. Here we are after the Custodes movement phase. It was very quick. These Custodian Guard stepped forward down the streets into this ruins to protect this holy city, and that's it. It's interesting. I would have gone second if I had first turn as playing Custodes. I would have drawn all of my stuff out, drawn the Tyranids forward so you could potentially countercharge it. Yes, you'd be giving up the centre of the board, but you've gone... What do you think?
Okay, this is the thought
My
process.
brain's bubbling right now.
This is the thought process.
Yes.
In going first, I
Yes.
can put some damage down on something and not move, so you still have to come to me, and then I can countercharge. So I still get the benefits of first turn and going second.
That makes perfect sense. So what's firing at what? The Telemon is the only thing in range there,
Yes,
right?
the Telemon is the only thing in range.
What are you going to shoot?
This thing, which is one of my secondary objectives.
Yes, it is,
Which
yes.
turns out very well.
Okay.
And because he's standing next to Trajan Valoris, he gets to reroll hits and wounds of 1.
Hits and wounds.
Hits and wounds.
Right, so he hits on 2s, rerolling 1s.
Hits on 2s.
There's a 1.
Reroll the 1. That's all hits.
Okay, and this is the strength 8
This
variant.
is strength 8.
Force to wound. I am toughness 8.
Oh!
Oh dear.
Hang on a second.
Oh dear, that could have gone better.
Hang on a second to see if there's anything I can do.
That could have gone better. What have we discovered, Quipster?
We've discovered that you reroll wounds on things that have the vehicle keyword.
That doesn't have the vehicle keyword.
Nope.
That doesn't have that.
No, it doesn't.
Is that the end of your turn 1?
You know what? I may as well use a CP.
Okay.
I swear to God. Nope. Never mind then.
Right. The Custodes. We won't mention that one. At the end of turn 1 for the Custodes, nothing happened down here. They didn't score any points. We're on to Tyranids turn 1. Right, here we are after the Tyranids movement phase, and I've been sneaky AF. This is sneaky AF.
Very sneaky.
First up, not putting Swarmy too far forward because he can't be shot. You've got to get in the ruins to shoot him, mind you. I'm worried about the big gun on the Telemann over there, basically.
Two big guns.
So this way he cannot be nailed. And I'm swarming onto objectives because I will get a point for being on the centre objective at the end of turn 1 and then 2 points in turn 2, 2, 3. But I also get 3 points if I outnumber you on objectives, and you're only on that one.
That's true.
So I'm going to get 4 points at the end of this turn, and then in the next turn, you're going to get 5 for the primary, and I should start maxing out primary points just by sticking on these objectives here. Now you stayed black, wanting me to blink first.
Yes, that was the plan.
So I've stayed back.
It's because you're a sneaky, sneaky devil.
Wanting you to blink first. The Gene Stealers have not gone rampaging up the table, and I will move this unit again. I've already got the little bugs on that objective, but I'll move them again to get 2 troops units on the centre objective as well, because it's still a bit far away for you to charge me. The bikes there might decide to rampage in and charge 1 unit or both. But yeah, it's a who blinks first match. The Tyranids are advancing cautiously. Maybe they haven't seen this type of crunchy biscuit before. We do want some of that crunchy biscuit, but not yet. Right, Psychic Shenanigans first. Catalyst. Do I put Catalyst on the really big bug that you want to kill? He hasn't moved. Right, he's moved. Do I put Catalyst on the really big bug you want to kill? He's not in range. Or do I put it on the unit of Gene Stealers, which you're going to absolutely nail with Gene Stealers? I need a 6. That passes. I'm going to put Onslaught from Kevin onto the Hive Guard. I need a 6. That passes. That means they can move and fire their heavy weaponry as though stationary, because they are infantry and they are heavy guns. Catalyst. I think that's about it, because they're out of smite range, out of lure range. Horror. To horrify you, I need someone in line of sight and range. I can't see those guys there, but I'm looking through the ruin, so I can't see them. It entirely blocks line of sight. So that's it for my psychic phase. And in the first thing I'm going to do in the shooting phase is Kevin will nominate a unit within 6 inches of him, and then that unit can move again, including advancing, which will be the Gene Stealers, but I'm not going to go very far. So then move forward. I've got loads of dudes. 5 up, feel no pain on those dudes there. Yeah? 29 troops in the middle of the table. Do you like that?
That's a lot of troops. That is so many troops.
That's much troops.
In fact, you outnumber my entire army with that blob.
Do I?
Yeah. It's 21 models.
Brilliant. Okay, shooting. The Screamer Killer advanced. He can't see anything. This unit... Oh, they advanced. Let's shoot those guns. It's 12-inch range. No, we're not going to be out of range. Okay, we'll shoot the Hive Guard. I'm going to shoot the Hive Guard with their Strength 8 AP -2 weapons at them. 36-inch range.
These guys?
Yes. Right, so you spent 2 CP on transhuman physiology.
Or it is called for the Custodes Arcane Genetic Alchemy.
The what now?
It's called something different, but it's the same thing that Space Marines get.
Arcane Genetic Alchemy.
Yeah.
3s to hit your alchemy. Right, it would be wounding you on 3s, but now I'm wounding you on 4s.
That's the one.
That's Strength 8. So you have Storm Shields, so let's do this one at a time. 3
okay.
up.
3 up.
You're fine. You're fine.
3 up.
Facing there. You're fine.
3 up.
You're fine.
Oh my god. 3 up.
2 more to go.
3 up. We're doing well.
Stop it
3
now.
up. Oh!
If you just ace them all.
Yep, I've smashed that.
Right, that's the end of my shooting phase. I'm spending 2 CPs on single-minded annihilation, and I'm doing it again. Let's see if you can smash it twice in a row.
No.
It's I know you've put transhuman physio alchemy,
That's
but
the one.
I can't shoot. They're the only ones in range right now. I might be able to shoot the bikes actually, but sod it. They affronted me. I need to hurt them. 4s, 3. Can you make 3?
Okay.
3
now
3
you're
up
just
in
gonna
vulnerable
die.
saves.
Now that that's happened. Okay.
This
3 up. Okay. 3 up.
Hey, fair one. D3 damage. What?
CP.
Okay.
Yep.
Stop it now.
One more. And they refuse to die.
And that is the end of Tyranids. Turn 1. I get 4 points for my secondaries, but don't damage the Custodes at all. In fact, both sides are advancing very cautiously onto this battle grid. Both sides trading shots down the line, and none of them finding their mark yet. Let's find out if that changes in turn 2. And here we are in turn 2 at the start of the movement phase. The Custodes only score 5 points for the primary because they're only on one objective. And so the Custodes spring forward. These guys, did they advance?
Those guys, no, neither of them advanced.
Neither of them advanced. They're moving up to contest this objective here. And the big blob of Terminators of Doom move up on that flank there. Simples. Now let's go on to the shooting phase. So starting off the shooting phase, the Hurricane Bolt is in rapid fire range. 36 shots, hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s into these bugs here. And when the Hurricane Bolters fall silent, 21 wounds came through. There's only 14 bugs there. They have t-shirts or carapace saves, but they still get wiped out to a bug. Do you get that? Not to a man, to a bug. Do you? Yeah.
I get it. It's very, very clever.
Yeah. Then the Carnifex took a wound as well. Some small arms fire coming from the Custodes behind. That's the firepower from this flank. We're going back across to the second flank. Tell them on one more time.
Tell them one more time. You're going to shoot the big guns into the big boy.
Big guns into big bug.
Okay.
Okay.
I swear to God. Okay.
Reroll a 1. Right, okay. Everything hits. 4s to wound.
Rerolling 1s.
You got 3 wounds.
Thank God for that. Right.
Were you swearing to Thor?
I was swearing to the god. But you know what? I'm going to CP this one as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Because out of all the gods, he's my favourite god. He's been in those movies.
He's my favourite too.
He's
I
nice.
love him.
He's a good guy, isn't he? There's a lot of work for charity as well. So 4 wounds came through. I have 5 up invulnerable saves due to dermic symbiosis. I make 1. How much damage?
A lot. Hang on.
Because I might want a CP. Are you looking at the app?
I'm looking at Battlescribe.
Okay.
But it's 3 damage.
3 damage each. So that'd be 9 unless I CP it.
Yes.
Let's CP it. It's still 9. 9 damage. I think they start off with 14? Yes, the T-Fex is down to 5 wounds. Then the Speculous Bolt Launcher on top of the Telemann there is in range. It's only 24 inch range. It's firing at these. Wants to fire at these guys, but they're just out. 2s to hit. And it is strength, reroll the 1s. And it is strength 5, so it will be 3s to wound here.
3s to wound, rerolling 1s. Reroll that.
So we have 4 wounds come through.
-1.
Yeah, 5 up invulnerable saves because I'm very fast. And then 5 up Catalyst. And you kill 1 Gene Stealer. 1 Gene Stealer dies. Now we're going on to the Alaris Terminators. Now they're not in rapid fire range, but you are spending a CP on superior fire patterns from the Psychic Awakening book.
Yes.
Gets them up to rapid fire 2.
Which
so are you shooting at the them ones or the non-cast?
We're shooting at these ones.
Non-catalyst ones.
They don't have a 5 up, feel no pain.
Okay.
Okay. Getting on 2 zeroing 1s.
Yes.
Oh god. Alright. Roll those.
So this is 36 shots instead of 9. But if I was in rapid fire range, sorry, 18 shots instead of 9.
I wish it was 36.
Yeah, if I was in rapid fire range, it'd be 36. 4s to wound.
Okay.
And Castellan axes are AP -1, 2 damage. It's not the 2 damage I'm worried in, it's all of those saves. Gene Stealers need to make 12 5 up invulnerable saves as they dodge right and left, and that's okay. That's 5, 7. I lose 7 out of 14. You cut the squad down in half. Some more small arms ricocheted out from the characters into the back, into the ruins in the centre. Didn't hurt anyone. That is the end of the shooting phase, but not the end of the turn, the battle round. We have a charge coming up. The bikers are going to charge the Carnifex. I'm not overwatching. Just don't roll snake eyes and you're in.
Oof. No pressure.
7. You're in. The bikers end up there. Now the guard want to get through. The custodian guards. They need an 8. Just almost 9 away. 3 and 6. That's a failed charge.
Do I want to CP? That's the question.
Well, they've got 12 attacks, right?
True, but also want to get them up.
Ah, yes.
That's
use it for movement.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to CP that.
Okay, that puts you down to 8. You've got your CP back this turn.
No, let's use different dice.
Different dice.
Different
It
dice.
always works.
Every time.
Yeah. See,
which it does.
It worked. Right, this is where we end up at the end of the charge phase and piling in. We're starting with the bikers attacking the Carnifex. They hit on 2s with 12 attacks. Strength 6 versus Toughness 7 means you would be wounding on a 5, but spending CP on Slayer of Nightmares, it's +1 to wound. So you're wounding on 4s, and it's all AP minus... and it's... No, sorry, it's AP minus 3, yeah, but and you're re-rolling all fair wounds. Because that's what bikers do on the charge. So, honestly, the bikes on their own should be able to kill a Carnifex.
Ooh.
So 4s to wound, AP minus 3. I need to make 6 up saves. And I fail that many, and each of these is D3 damage, and he's got 7 left. So, yes, he's wiped. He's wiped. Then at the end of the fight phase, it looks like this, because you can select eligible units to fight in the fight phase, and eligible units are those within an inch of an enemy model, or those that charged. This unit charged, so then it was able to pile in 3 and then consolidate 3 and come forward like that and help block off their brothers from behind. That would be 2 points to bring it down as well, by the way, for killing a monster under 10 wounds.
Yes.
You've also killed a chunk of bugs, so you've got thin their ranks as a secondary. So you're going to get points for that, but we add up all of these ones at the end. And also you're on 2 objectives.
Yes,
and previously I was outnumbering you on the primary, so I got 5, 10, 15 at the start of my turn, but now I'm only going to get 10 at the start of my turn because I'm not outnumbering you. So that was a good play, taking the field, pushing the agenda down the right flank of the battlefield, and around the left flank of the battlefield I have a wall of steel and ceramite charging down towards me. No morale, of course, for the Tyranids because everything is in Synapse range as we move on to Tyranids, turn 2. And so at the start of my turn, I get 10 points for the primary. Quipster's currently on 5 points for the primary. So I'm winning on points for now. And I want to say, narratively speaking, what the hive mind is doing is sensing the biomass over there that's a bit closer. So we're going to jump on that biomass. Game-wise, I'm running away from the Terminators. There's a big Death Star there, and the Telemon, and Trajan. I have moved my Tyrannifex up, and he will be in range of his acid spray for the first and last time before he gets nuked. And the squad of 7 Gene Stealers next to him have jumped onto that objective to double team it, because the other squad has made their way over there, because we're going to charge whatever is left. That is the plan. Okay?
Let's see what happens.
Okay. So first we go into the psychic phase. I'm going to put the lure on the bikes that are behind. I need a 6. Well, it's a 5 because of the resonance barb.
What does it do?
That passes. It means that any units that charge the bikes get re-roll charges.
Okay.
And then I'm going to smite. And that's a super smite.
And a perils.
And a perils.
Does it still go off if it's perils?
Yes. Unless it's a double 1. I've gone over the casting value. So is there anything to block? I mean, I'm going to...
Yeah, was that the bikes or these guys?
Well, it's D6 damage from him and it hits the closest unit.
So it's got to be these guys?
Yes.
I don't want that to happen.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and deny that.
I think it's 4 points for that CP, isn't it? It's
No, it's actually... Oh, it's 1 CP.
Oh, no, sorry, 1 CP, but it's a 4 plus, I believe.
It is a 4 up.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
4 up, you block the power.
Ugh.
You don't block the power.
I don't. Okay, 6 up and feel no pains. Let's see what happens.
D6 damage. 2. It's just 2.
Okay.
You're going to be fine. They have 3 wounds anyway. 6 up, ignore.
Oh, only
ignore
1.
1.
Okay.
Yeah, Custodes ignore mortal wounds in the psychic phase. On a roll of 6, ignored 1. I take D3. So I take 3 on myself. The Broodlord's down to 3 left. Right, after his powers, I'm going to go to the Zoanthropes. They're going to cast in. And they're going to do a smite. What did I do? I did a smite. Yeah, they're going to do a smite. So this is a 6 to cast now. And I can re-roll the 1 because I'm in range of the Neurothrope. So that passes. Can you deny again?
2 CP I can.
Because this does D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. Because
so you will kill one.
Because there's a unit of 6.
I have to try and deny that.
You have to try and deny it.
Yeah. So you roll them 8?
Yes.
It's 2 CP.
Okay.
Nope, not even close.
D3 plus 3.
So 1's dead.
4.
Okay.
4 mortal wounds. You have 4 6-up saves though.
Ooh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
6 up. Okay, 3.
We make 1, so 1 does die and 1 wound spills over. Interestingly, that puts you all the way down to 4 CP. You have been regaining them.
Yes, I've been regaining them, which is good.
I've still got 11.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that's their first power. I killed one. Their second power is Psychic Scream. I need a 5. That passes. It does D3 mortal wounds. That does 3 more mortal wounds on the Custodes.
Okay, and 2 go through. Next guy's dead.
Okay, now we're on to my Neurothrope. He's going to smite. That was a 5, 6. This is a 7 to cast. And that passes. This will do D3 mortal wounds. For 3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
You make 2 6s.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Iron within, iron without.
Well, it's a different army, for sure.
And his next power will be Catalyst. I need a 6. That passes. And I cast Catalyst on the Tyranid there, trying to keep it alive for a little while longer, even though it's only on 5 wounds left. That is the end of my psychic phase. I've killed a couple of the guys. The biker unit behind a lured for the re-rolling of the charge. Now we're going to shoot some guns. Let's start with the Tyranid and let's aim at these Terminators. Let's try and make them bleed. I have 2d3 number of auto hits with my acid. And that's 7 auto hits. What are you doing now?
So, I'm going to have to spend it because I need to keep these guys alive.
Right.
I'm going to spend the 2 CP for Auramite and Adamantium, which means AP -1 and AP -2 actually count as AP 0.
Alright, okay. So you get the full on. Alright, I'm wounding you on, because of Dermic Symbiosis, I'm still strength 7. So I'm wounding you on 3s with me acid spray. And that would have been AP -1. But now it's AP dash. It does do D3 damage though, so any of these failed saves.
Exactly. How much is that?
5, so...
2 up saves, they're all good.
Okay, fine. Then the Stinger Salvo from the T-Fex bounced, so all of his shots bounced. Now the only other thing in my army that can really shoot is the Hive Guard. We've put a dude back with a shield, because I was saying, why have you taken all the shields away? So you put a dude back with a shield. You need him.
Yeah, because I'm a stupid idiot.
No, it's mistakes happen in the heat of war. And now I'm going to fire 10 Impaler Cannon shots at that unit there. I want to clear them, so I've got a free charge through.
What's the strength?
To the bikes. This is strength 8.
Yeah, no. Okay.
And I'm hitting on 3s. And I'm wounding on 3s. And it's AP -2, D3 damage. So 3 up invulnerable save. So. And you fail it.
Oh, God.
Right, and you pass it. It's D3 on the first one. He's
Yeah.
still alive. He's got
No.
2 win. What?
Well, he was down to 1.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next guy failed
Failed.
that.
And he takes 2 damage.
Okay, last one. 4
That's
up.
fine.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so what we're saying is there's 1 dude on 1 wound.
Yes.
And then I'm going to spend 2 CP and shoot again.
Awesome.
3s. And 3s. 7 4-up saves, or the last dude gets it.
Oh, this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well at all.
7 4-up saves.
Oh my God.
You fail by 1.
I'm going to CP that.
Which is D. Really?
Yep.
Will a hero be born? Down to 1 CP. Will a hero be born this day?
Come on. Please. Please. Ah, damn it.
And at the end of the Tyranid's shooting and psychic phase, I've removed a unit of Custodes. Just 1 unit.
Just one, 4
Just
models.
1 unit, 4
However.
models. But how much firepower and shooting and psychic might did it take to bring down more? Mind you, just 4 models in a Golden Hosts list is a lot of points.
Yeah.
Now we're going to charge, and we're going to start off with the Gene Stealers that the bikes can't see behind the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to charge your bikes. Is there
Okay.
any shenanigans happening?
Not yet.
Because Gene Stealers can advance and charge. This is my charge, and I can re-roll it if I want to. I think I'm in anyway. I'm going to re-roll it. And I roll a 5. I'm going to be in anyway. Walls of Ruins are breachable. The Gene Stealers make it through. Now Kevin's going to charge. And he rolls an 8, and that will be enough. Okay, Swarmlord, aka Kevin, makes it into combat with the bikes. He's got 6 attacks with his Bone Sabers and has spent a command point of Voracious Appetite. He's hungry.
I'm not okay with this.
He's hungry. He hits on 2s. He gets 5 hits through. And he's strength 8. Your toughness spikes, so it's winning on 3s.
Okay.
Voracious Appetite is reroll failed wounds. So 3s to wound, and
God.
I can reroll that. And these attacks are AP -3, 3 damage. So you need to make 4 up invulnerable saves.
Yes.
Bikers come with 4 wounds each, though.
They do.
So I need a couple of these to sink through.
Just the one.
Just the one. And then his tail lashes out and hits and wounds, but it's AP dash.
2 up. Oh my god.
And his tail takes you out.
My god.
He sushis you with his swords and the tail wishes out and smacks one down. 3 damage from the bone sabers, 1 damage from the tail, enough to kill a bike, and then you're spending 1 CP to interrupt, not 2. Because the Custodes have these cheekiness. And they're going to attack the Gene Stealers.
Okay.
On
Here
2s. Wounding on 3s. How many you get? 3?
Yeah, 3. Oh,
3 5 up in buns.
Oh my god.
You kill 1. So the Gene Stealers get a chance to strike back. Only 10 of them can fight, but because there's more than 10 of them, they're 4 attacks each. 40 attacks. Hitting on 3s. And if there was a Broodlord next to them, they'd be hitting on 2s.
That's fun.
I like it. Right, many hits, but I'm wounding on 5s with Rending Claws. 6. So 1 4 up invulnerable save. And fine. And then 9 3 up invulnerable saves, which you might get lucky at.
Oh no. Oh no.
1 bite dies. Just 1. The other guy is uninjured. And then at the end of the fight phase, it looks like this. A lone biker encircled by the ravening Xenos horde. That is the end of Tyranids. Turn 2. Now I'm outscoring on the primaries. And in turn 2, I get 2 points for the mission 1, holding the central objective. In total, it's 19 points to the Tyranids and 10 points to the Custodes, including thin their ranks, as we go on to Custodes. Turn 3. Here we are after the Golden Host movement phase. That have got 5 points for the primary for being on that objective there, but this one was contested. And the biker on this objective has decided to jump back and away. He doesn't want to face the wrath of the Gene Stealers, because of course defenders attack first. And if I come charging over the bike there, it's -2 because of the crater for movement. Plus it pulls me away from where the objectives are. So quite a sound decision really. He may have died otherwise. But yeah, only 5 points for the primary. And then the big push. You're advancing up with the Terminators, the Alaris Terminators.
Yes.
And you got a nice enough advance to get you onto that objective there.
It's the thing that's happened.
So beginning to make their presence felt in the middle of the battle grid. Characters struggling to keep up behind them as we move on to the shooting phase. Right, so we're starting off with the ballistic grenade launchers. Even though the students advance, they're assault weapons. And you're going to fire into the unit of Gene Stealers, the biggest threat. So because the unit is more than 5 but not above 10, each of these shots will do a D6 shots but a minimum of 3 each.
D3, but it still does a minimum of 3.
D3 but a minimum of 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is D3 there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Right, one of them's at range, so this is 24 shots hitting on 3s. And re-rolling everything because of Trajan Valoris.
Rerolling 1s.
Rerolling 1s, doesn't he re-roll everything?
Yeah, just the 1s.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have that guy in my Custodes force. I mean, all the way back here, turn 3, he's useless, isn't he?
Yeah, but you want him.
I do want him. I
That's why he's there.
I want to assassinate him, want him dead. 21 hits with rerolls, force to win.
And rerolling 1s because of Trajan.
Oh yeah. Now these are AP -3,
For some
1
reason.
damage. 14 5 up lightning reflex saves. You wipe out that squad, the remainder of the squad. Next up in the shooting phase, the Telemon. The rockets came in and killed 3 in this squad here. And now the big gun of doom's trying to finish off the T-Fex, hitting on 2s. Everything hits, wounding on 4s. I'm sure.
1s.
2 wounds so far. 3 wounds. I see 3 wounds. 3 5 up invulnerable saves because of dermic symbiosis. I failed them all, and that's 9 damage.
Yes.
He's only got 5 left, but I have Catalyst. Catalyst. Yeah, it's dead. It is dead. The T-Fex is dead and does not explode or have death throws. So the Tyrannifex gets turned to red paste. The gun on top, the Telemon can fire twice when it doesn't move. So it fired into these bugs here along with Trajan. There's 6 left in there, but they are fearless due to the synapse range and they still are on that mission objective there. Then there were some more small arms from these guys back here firing into the Gene Stealers, which didn't hurt them. And that is the end of Custodes. Turn 3. There is a distinct lack of bugs on this side of the table, away from that 600, 700 plus point unit there.
I mean, It's a 12-inch charge.
You advance them.
Never mind.
So that is that's the end of Custodes turn 3. You've got another 3 points for killing one of my big beasties, which is bring it down. And you've killed a chunk more of the swarm, including the gene stealers. And what you've done is you prevented me scoring this objective here. However, in Tyranids turn 3, I'm on 10 points for those 2 objectives, and I outnumber you, which will give me 15 points for the primary. So far I'm scoring 25 points on the primary, whereas the Custodes have only scored 10. As we go on to Tyranids, turn 3. So here we are after the Tyranids movement phase, beginning to spread out and dominate this battle grid. Now the right flank has collapsed. Gene Stealer's advancing forward, ready to charge. And Kevin's advanced forward as well. I'm going to do this now, because he needs to cast Onslaught, otherwise he won't be able to charge. He fails, so let's spend a command point. And it passes. I need a 6. Right, trying to deny, because this guy can deny. Need a 7. What's that? A 5 and a 2. That's a deny. You've denied. I can't advance and charge. And I've already advanced, so I can't charge, damn it. So I'll smite you. And that fails. So the Broodlord will try and smite you. And that fails. I think the biker's going to get away by the skin of his chinny chin chin. Okay, we're coming over here. The Zoanthrope, the Neurothrope, my Warlord, will cast Catalyst on the Zoanthropes that are surrounding him. You'll see that he's jumped round in a circle like this. And that passes. That gives him a 5-up feel no pain. And then he'll cast Smite, which hits the Terminators and does 3 mortal wounds onto them.
1 triple sixes, or not.
No, 3 mortal wounds. However, these Terminators start with 4 wounds each, so one's on 1 wound. And then here what I did is advance with the little bugs and advance with the little bugs. I'm trying to prevent these guys from moving there and then charging through. This is keeping the line back. They've advanced, so they're not charging. It'll keep you an inch away after you've moved to slow you down from getting to the center objective. Meanwhile, these guys score it. Right, last couple of psychic powers. We have a Smite and we have a Psychic Scream over here. So first, the Smite from the Zoanthropes. And that's an 8, and that's a pass. And this does D3 plus 3 mortal wounds for 6. Okay. 6 mortal wounds on the Alaris Terminators.
Okay, right.
And I should have done Psychic Scream first, because you're going to be out of range for that, because it's 18. So mistakes were made. 6 up saves. You make 1.
5 go through. Okay, so...
A dude's dead. 1. Another dude's dead. And 1 is down to 3 wounds. I would recommend you take that guy away.
No, he's dead.
Is he?
Because it's only 4. Sorry, it's only 5.
Yeah.
So
and 1 was on 1 wound.
He's got 4.
Okay.
That's 5.
Okay. All right.
And which is the guy who's in range of...
He's in range of...
This
guy. If you take him away, I won't be in range. Why?
Because objective.
Oh, scoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 10 points for being on the primaries.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Are you enjoying the cheese sandwich?
I'm very much enjoying this cheese sandwich.
2 bits of bread and some cheese.
It's got butter in it.
Those are my culinary... That's about as good as it gets.
It's very tasty.
Psychic Scream passes. D3. 3 more. Oh dear. My psychicness has been powerful.
This is a lot to take in. Oh, hello. Okay.
Oh, well, minute. He only takes a wound. Right, that's the end of the psychic phase. I've taken out a couple of those big beasties there. I've moved around to spread out across 3 out of 5 of the objectives. Then the Hive Guard are going to shoot some guns. Oh, also in the movement phase, the Broodlord is back up to 5 wounds. I healed it, 2 CP for rapid regeneration. But yeah, there's a bit bust over here. No charging. Right, anyway, Hive Guard are going to shoot everything at the Terminators. Hive Guard hit on 3s. Wound on 3s. 2 4-up vulnerable saves. And you passed them both. Then we did some more shots. I had some little bugs that could reach out with their assault weapons into the Terminators, causing no damage at all. That's the end of my turn 3 movement, psychic and shooting. Still can't charge over here, but I can charge here. So Gene Stealers can advance and charge. So we're going in.
And
we make the charge. What?
I'm going to, I'm going to Tanglefoot.
You would have,
Yeah.
but I rolled too soon, so you can choose not to Tanglefoot if you don't want to.
So,
Because Tanglefoot reduces it by d6, right?
Yeah. So
I think even if you reduced it by 6,
it wouldn't have mattered, would it?
I'm still in.
Yeah.
So keep your CPs.
Yep. Put that over there. Okay.
We're going to get in. So it looks like this. More end up in close combat. I've tagged him. I can't fight him now because he didn't heroically intervene into me, but he can fight me back. However, all of these attacks are hitting just that unit. But they all have 3 up and vulnerable saves, or 2 of them do. After rolling many dice to hit, I got this many hits. Now I need to roll a wound because 5s are AP -1, but 6s are AP minus a lot. Dude, in fact, I got like 1 at -1 and all the rest are at -4. I don't know how that worked, but...
What?
I know. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, right.
So these are 3 up and buns. What's that? 7 3 up and buns? You might as well do them all together. You're not going to fail. You got 2 shields in there anyway.
It's only 1 damage, so may as well.
Yeah.
1 guy dies.
So one of the shield guys dies, and then you've got 1 at -1. Oh, you're thinking about command point, you know?
Yeah.
Well, then that's a 3 up save no matter what, that other one.
So...
CP?
Yeah. Okay.
You're fine?
Okay.
Back down to 1.
Do I
And
get it
then
back?
a 3 up.
I get it
You
back?
do get back up to 2.
Okay. And now just 3 up save.
Yes, on that one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And the shield guy dies anyway.
Yep.
And so after the Gene Stealers attack, they only drag down 1 with a shield. Now we're fighting back with the Custodes. We're going to do it all together because even though there's Misericordias and swords and shields, and basically everything here hits on 2s, wounds on 3s against Gene Stealers.
Yep.
And we're not worried about the AP because they all have invulnerable saves.
You're rolling the 1s.
Because he's a shield captain, so everything hits. 3s to wound. Plenty of wounds. I have 10 5 up invulnerable saves. And I lose 5 Gene Stealers, and then we end up here, and that is the end of Tyranids, turn 3. Now, interestingly, Kevin has an 18-inch range synapse. I checked and double-checked, I'm still in synapse range, so I don't need to take a morale there. And I'm outnumbering you on your home objective. Yes, you've got objective secured, but I'm troops, and so have I, which stops you scoring that primary at the start of your turn. In fact, at the end of Tyranid's turn 3, I'll get 3 points for holding this objective and the centre objective, and another 3 points again for controlling more objectives than you. So 9 points I've got for that objective, just swarming the board, swarming the board, swarming the board.
The red tide coming towards me.
Yeah. So the Tyranids are winning in the points game, but Kevin is somewhat exposed over on this flank, and now I'm spread out all across the battle grid. Let's find out how the Custodes respond in turn 4. Here we are after turn 4 movement phase for the Custodes. They get 5 points for the primaries again because they only had this objective here, and they're attempted to clear their lines on this side. The biker has broken away from the Swarm Lord, and everyone else is out of combat here. The idea being to shoot and charge in and delete those Gene Stealers. Meanwhile, the Terminators begin to continue to push their advance through into the hallowed cathedral in the middle, the ruins in the middle. There's going to be some shots and some charging as they're trying to chew their way through these Gants. Starting with the Terminators, they're going to put their grenade launchers into the Gants here, and they've got 21 shots hitting on 2s and killing on 3s. And you're spending that CP on superior firepower again?
Yes.
So you've got double shots coming up here.
On these guys.
Into the zoanthropes. Right, the grenade launchers absolutely creamed the little bugs. They've been blown away, but now we're doing on camera the shots with the ballistus axes. The axes? Castellan axes into the zoanthropes.
Yeah, hitting on 2s. Oh, that's an annoying amount of... Oh, no, okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Aren't you re-rolling 1s or anything?
No, because
No.
it's just a +1 attack banner.
Okay. Strength 4 versus toughness 4, but they are 2 damage each.
Okay. 4s to wound.
And that looks good.
Ooh. Oh, that was good.
10 wounds came through. I have 3 up invulnerable saves. And each failed save is 2 damage. So I aced that. And these are catalyst saves. And in the end, the zoanthropes have 3 wounds each. You kill 1. it looks like this. The damage from the smite attacks now will be 2d3, not d3 plus 3. Now we're coming across here, the bike, putting 12 shots into the Gene Stealers, hitting on 2s.
Rerolling, ooh, thankfully rolling the 1s.
Is that 4 1s? Another one there, 5 1s. A Yahtzee of 1s. But everything hits in the end. Forced to wound. 8 5-up saves. And only 2 live. 6 Gene Stealers get cut down. Now we're on to the Telemon. It's going to put the big guns into Kevin and the bolter thing on top on its carapace into the Gene Stealers. This is the big guns. Everything hits. Okay. Strength 8, toughness 7. You're winning on 3s.
Reroll the 1 because it's Trajan.
Everything wins. And this is enough to kill him because it's a 3-up damage gun. But I do have a 4-up invulnerable save. It's 3-up invulnerable save in close combat. 4-up invulnerable saves normally. And he takes 6 damage. He's half dead on 6 left. Then the gun on top, the Speculous Bolt Launcher into the Gene Stealers. On 2s, everything hits. And this is strength 5, so it's winning on 3s. Everything wounds because you're trying to clear them off that objective there.
Man.
And you kill the last of the Gene Stealers. That was pretty good, you know. Not one dice roll over there.
It turned out okay.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be. I think that's the end of your shooting phase. Because these guys fell back. I think that's it. So we have a charge here. Mm-hmm. Just don't roll snake eyes because you're going to be -2 to this charge to charge some termagants. It'll be very embarrassing if you fail.
Okay, let's do this. That's definitely far enough.
They're definitely in, and they might be able to wrap a little bit as well.
That's what I'm thinking.
Here we are after the charge phase. The banner comes charging in as well. Now with the banner, they've got 5 attacks each. Hitting on 2s at strength 8 against some Gants. And you utterly smash them. In fact, to be fair, they could smash an Imperial Knight down. They consolidate forward. Then the guy with the banner piles in and consolidates forward. And essentially, the Terminators are now controlling that objective. And you are now controlling this objective with that guy because you can't control 2 objectives with the same unit. And at the end of your turn, you get +4 points for the mission objective for controlling the centre ground. I controlled it for 3 turns in a row. And finally, the Custodes have pushed everyone out of the ruin in the centre of the battle grid. And that's the end of Custodes' turn 4. They control a significant portion of the battle grid now. I've only got these units left here. And in the last couple of turns, I was getting 15 points for the primary and 15 points for the primary. In turn 4, I'm only going to get 10 points. The tide is beginning to turn. Is it too little, too late? Let's find out in Tyranids, turn 4. So here we are after the Tyranid movement phase. I've got 10 points for the primary. And then I advance the unit of little bugs onto the central objective there, which will get me 4 points for the mission one. I'm outnumbering you on that objective now. Models within 3 inches of the outside of that counter. So I'm scoring that one, and then I pulled back a little bit. I'm consolidating here. The Broodlord, it's the first time he hasn't died in the first couple of turns. It's staying on this objective here. So I'm scoring 3 different objectives, which is important because in your command phase, you won't be outscoring me on the number of objectives that you're on.
Sneaky devil.
And then Kevin's going after the one that got away. He's going down there. Plus it gives you something to deal with in your backlines. So to do this, I need to cast Onslaught on myself, which I fail again, and I'm going to CP reroll again, which I pass again, and you can try and deny it with your dude. But yes. There is smites and things coming in.
However, he's out of range to deny any of the other smites and stuff.
Is he? Okay, so you might as well do that. So you need an 8 to beat that.
What do we got?
No. Right, Impregnable Mind allows you to deny the witch, and gives you +1 to the roll. I rolled a 7, you rolled a 7, so you deny it. You stop it.
Yes, thankfully.
Which means Kevin isn't charging 2 turns in a row. That makes Kevin angry. So Kevin smites. And that's a super smite. And it does 3, and I'm going to command point. No, I've already command pointed this phase. It does 3 mortal wounds. It'll hit these dudes, actually. I wanted to charge him, but they're closer. So you need to roll 3 6s.
Yes.
To try and keep one of them alive.
Who survives? None of them.
I kill one of them.
Okay.
Then after all that, and advancing and trying to onslaught, and advancing and trying to onslaught, you know what I just remembered? Mm-hmm. Hive Commander, which means in the shooting phase, I have an ability to move twice. I could have just moved here shorter and then moved again and then had a guaranteed charge anyway because I hadn't advanced. But you got to learn, right? It's got to sting. That's how you learn.
It's true.
But I could have just moved him twice. Brilliant. Okay, we're going across to my Neurothrope, casting Catalyst on his Zoanthrope bodyguards. I need a 6. That passes. And then I'm going to smite. And that passes. And it hits these guys here, your Terminators, for 2 mortal wounds.
Okay.
2 6-up ignores.
Nope.
Nope.
Down to 1.
Psychic Scream from the Neurothrope, Zoanthropes, that hits and does 3 mortal wounds on the Terminators.
Please don't die. Oh, yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. So one's dead, one takes 2 wounds.
Yep.
Smite. Smite, I can reroll the 1 and I need to. Actually fails because he's smitten. I failed the smite. I keep doing that as well. Another mistake. You should always do your Zoanthrope smites first because that's a 2d3 smite. And that happened in a previous game as well and it really came back to sting me.
Very scary.
Anyway, let's do the shooting phase. I'm going to shoot with the little bugs that advanced and then unload with the Hive Guard. Little bugs just bounced onto the Hive Guard. Are you doing any shenanigans? 3s to hit, 3s to wound.
What's the strength of weapons?
Strength 8. And it's -2 AP, D3 damage a time.
Oh.
Impaler cannons. I'm going to impale you on my cannon.
Impale me. No, you're not,
Sounds
because
a bit
I'm going
rude.
to spend a 2 CP for Auramite and Adamantium.
What's that?
AP -1 and 2 counts as AP 0.
Oh. So my A... What? Really? Okay. 3s to hit. So this is AP -1. 0. This is AP 0. Because that's their thing. It's getting some wounds in, causing... So that's... See, that's the difference. That would have been 5 4-up invulnerable saves doing D3. Instead, it's 5 2-up saves
It's a very
doing
big
D3.
difference.
That's an immense stat. I like that.
It's so good.
Okay.
And yep, they're all good.
Yeah, and in fact, you'd have failed 4 times. So that would have been 4d3 damage.
That would have been horrendous.
Right, I'm doing it again. I'm spending 2 CP on single mind. I'm not having this. Single-minded annihilation. I'm not having this. This puts me down to 5 back. Right, 3s to wound. Some will fall, I tell you. Some will... 5 more. 5 more 2-up saves.
Okay, 5 more 2-up
Roll
saves.
one.
Come on,
Roll one.
boys. Yeah, they're all good.
And that would have been 4 more D3. That would have been 8 D3 damage.
Best strat ever.
And instead, nothing at all. Okay, that's my shooting phase. I can't charge. They advanced, I can't charge. That's the end of my turn 4.
However,
What?
he can heroically intervene, and let me check the distance on this guys and these guys. Because if that's 3, then they can heroically intervene as well with a 1 CP strat.
You've only got 1 CP left. Do you want to burn it?
I got 1 back,
Oh, yeah.
so I've got 2.
So mistakes were made. It turns out that you were within 3 with your 1 CP strat. So they have now heroically intervened in the charge phase. Then in the fight phase, they can pile in another 3 inches. And it looks like this. And then we have 70 or 60 point Alaris Terminators fighting 5-point bugs. And everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead. And that's a 4-point swing. I would have had 4 points at the end of my turn from controlling that objective.
Heroic intervention's pretty awesome.
More than that, I get 3 points if I control more than half of the objectives on the table. And at the moment I've got 2, you've got 2, and no one controls that. So I don't get... That's a 7-point swing.
It's a big deal. It's a very big deal.
I didn't know they could do that, but I have learned. That's a Psychic Awakening thing, right?
Yeah, it is.
1 CP, they can heroically intervene. I love it. So that's really good. What's it called?
It is Fraternity of Heroes.
Fraternity of Heroes. I need to remember that for my stuff. Is it a Terminator thing only, or
No,
a
any
Custodes
of
thing?
those Custodes
That's a
unit.
beautiful one as
It's
well.
so good.
Okay, so the strats are coming out to play. The Custodes are pushing back. They're pushing back hard. But now we enter the end game. It's the last push from the Golden Host in turn 5. Here we are in the movement phase in turn 5 for the Custodes, just before their movement phase. Now they're losing on the points, so they need to maximise as much as possible. They've got thin their ranks and bring it down. Bring it down means he's worth 3 points. Thin their ranks means he's worth a point on his own. If you kill Kevin, that's 4 points. If you're on the central objective at the end of this turn, that's 5 points. But also more than that, I'm going to get 10 points on the primaries and max out on the primaries. If you get the Brood Lord off of there, I'll only get 5 points on the primaries as well. It seems to be the best way to score some points. You could go for killing as much as possible, but I'll get extra points. Extra what? Yes.
Alternatively,
yes.
I could do all of those options.
Do all of them?
Do all of them.
Kill, maim,
double
burn.
fire. Move these guys as far as they can, so they
Yeah.
can see through this gap and this window.
Yes.
Double fire into these guys.
Okay.
Charge that guy.
Yes.
Shoot and charge this guy.
You know, corn cares not where the blood flows.
Precisely.
And so at the end of the movement phase, these heroes step forward to take on the Swarm Lord. Kevin! And the Terminators. You've got the banner on the centre of the battle grid. I love that. Raising the banners high. And the Terminators are heading off to sacrifice the Brood Lord on the altar of the Imperial Truth. So the Terminators, utilising their superior fire pattern strat, are firing twice in at the Hive Guard. Hitting on 2s. And winning on 5s. And these are AP -1 to damage. 5-up saves. And I make 1, so 2 of the Hive Guard get taken out. And 2 grenade launchers fire in, 2d3 for 4 shots. And these will hit on 2s. And wound on, they all hit, winning on 5s. And at AP -3, I won't get a save. And 1 is down to 1 wound left. So the Vexilla fires his axe in as well. Well, 1 shot, he hits, he will need a 5 to wound.
Ooh.
And he doesn't wound. That's the firepower down this side of the battle grid. Now up this end of the battle grid, Kevin is about to get lit up. The Telemon hits on 2s. Everything hits and he'll wound Kevin on 3s. Hang in there, Kevin, you can do it.
Reroll the 1 because of Trajan.
He wounds 3 times. Trajan stood right next to him there. 3, 4-up invulnerable saves. You can do it, Kev.
Ooh.
Command point. Yay! All right, what else you got, Quipster? What else you got?
We've got Shield Captain Achilles.
Okay.
Hitting
Achilles.
on 2s. That's his name.
That's okay. He hits.
5s?
Yes. Toughness 7.
Nope.
Nah, Achilles. It just bounces off the surface. Doesn't go in. What else you got?
We've got Diomedes.
Diomedes. Come on,
With his
Diomedes.
pistol sword.
He hits twice. He
Doesn't do anything.
Doesn't wound either.
And now we've got... Oh my god, we've got the other gun from the Telemon.
Oh, the other gun from the Telemon, which we could...
Yes.
Did he stay still so he can fire it twice?
He did stay still.
All this for a drop of blood. Which you haven't made the drop of blood yet.
Not yet.
So that's 10 shots from the Telemon big gun.
201s. All good.
It's nothing. It's nothing. I laugh at your 2s. 5s to wound.
Reroll the 1.
These are AP -1, right?
They are.
And there's 5 there.
Yes.
Right, this could sting a bit. 5 4-up saves.
So you got... Ooh. Ooh.
Kevin's on 2 wounds left. So the bike unloads with all of his Dakar on 2s, re-rolling. That's why you put the second in command down there. 5s to wound. This is for 4 points, remember. 3 to pin it down, 1 for thing their ranks. How many?
2,
3.
3.
3 3-up saves. Hang in there, Kevin. You can do this.
Please die.
He's alive on 1 wound left, ready to face your charge. I laugh at your charge. Is that it? That's the end of the shooting phase, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. That's good. So now we're going to charge. Charge phase. Terminators need a 4 to get there. Because they're in the crater, it's -2. So a 6. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. They're
Straight
angry.
in.
So the Terminators make it there. The banner is staying on the central objective. The bike is now going to try and charge Kevin his last mistake.
Yeah, straight in.
He makes it. And what about the other guy with sword and board?
Does he make it?
Come to your doom.
Yes, he does.
He does. Right. Let's fight.
Let's do this.
So here we are after the charge phase. I've got 4 CP left and you're worried about interruption.
Mm-hmm.
And neither is good. But Kevin is worse good. So you're going to start here
Yes.
with Kevin.
Okay.
Okay, the bike. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s.
Single twos. No rerolls.
3 hits. Wounding on 5s. I'm toughness 7. And rerolling the wound.
I have to do this then. I have to spend
your last CP.
The CP.
Okay.
On +1 to wound against high strength.
Okay. Force to wound.
Oh, it didn't matter.
3 reroll a wound on the charge though.
Oh god, yeah, you're right. Okay.
2.
Thank God for that.
2 3 up and vulnerable saves. Do you get CPs back? You just spent.
I think I already got it back in this battle round.
3 up and vulnerable saves.
Oh my god.
Command point.
Oh my god.
Kevin lives. Kevin lives.
Okay. I assume you're going to interrupt?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right, so I'll interrupt with the Broodlord. Hit these. Wipe them out.
Okay.
Easy.
I have a shenanigan.
What's the shenanigan?
So, I haven't used Trajan's Moment Shackle ability yet.
I don't know what that is.
So what it does is you can activate it once per game, and one of the things it does is you can do a thing where your next strat is free.
Okay.
So, my next strat is going to be... He's strength 4, right? Strength 5.
5, I think, yeah.
So I can spend 1 CP to reduce his strength to 4.
Yeah.
So he'll be winning on 5s.
Yeah. I reroll failed wounds, but you can do that, yes.
Or you reroll failed wounds?
Yes, all failed wounds.
Okay, so I've got 2 options
here. That's his thing.
I can turn off your rerolls, or I can -1 to your wounds.
Let's find out what his strength is. Strength 5, he rerolls all failed wounds. I got it right the first time, I just doubted myself.
So it's a case of, do I want to... God,
do you want to make him wound on 5s and reroll everything? Or do you want to make him wound on 4s, not rerolling everything? Interesting. So you're taking away my rerolls, not my strength.
Taking away the rerolls.
2s to hit.
Okay.
4s to win. 6s at AP -6, flat 3 damage.
Okay, 2 4 up and vulnerables. I'll do 1 at a time. Nope, 1 guy's dead because he had 2 wounds left. And another guy's on 2 wounds.
So you took a model away. This guy's on 1 wound left, actually. That was a flat 3. Yeah. And then we piled in. And it looks like this. I don't think I've done enough damage to you. The Terminators are going to fight back. This is 20 attacks. 4 times. Yeah, 20 attacks hitting on 2s with their axes. And these are strength 8 axes. So they will be wounding on 3s. I'm probably not going to survive. 5 up and vulnerable saves. And each of these doing D3 damage.
Yep.
Oh dear. 13 5 up and vulnerable saves. Each of them... Oh, he's definitely dead. Essentially, that was 11 times D3 damage that you could have put on the Brutal.
Brutal.
Right, the shield guy, sword and board now hitting Kevin for his last wound. He hits twice. Can he wound him though on 5s?
Come on. 1.
So it's a save or die situation on Kevin, and I've already used my command point.
Oh, please die. Please
and there's no more attacks coming on him. I'm just raising the bar here. He'll be one of my heroes, one of my named heroes. You would have killed. But Kevin will not fall.
I'm clenching currently.
Because the Emperor protects.
Oh!
The Emperor protects Tyranids. Now Kevin gets to fight.
Oh no.
On 1 wound left, Kevin has 4 attacks. And he wants to polish off this guy that got away last time. 4 attacks. Oh, and he's only strength 6 as well. So I'm spending a CP on Voracious Appetite so I can reroll a wound. He hits on 2s.
Ooh.
And he wounds on 4s and rerolls. And rerolls. Oh dear. Yeah. 4 up.
All good.
You make it. His tail whips out and hits and doesn't wound. You managed to survive. So these heroes battled each other. Yes, Kevin is a hero. And no one dies there. My Broodlord gets slaughtered over here. But that is the end of your turn 5. That's you didn't get the 4-point swing, the 1 point for thin the ranks and the 4 points to bring it down. I've denied you a lot. What?
You're gonna love this.
What? You haven't got it. What?
He's got a misrecordia.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you were just checking your list?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it then. 2s to hit.
That's a hit.
5s to wound. I'm not gonna love this. I'm not loving this.
-2.
I'm not loving it. 4 up and fun. I just this.
Oh my god!
Kevin! No! Kevin, no! Alright. Scratch all that stuff. You killed my last monster, an extra 3 points plus the thing. I'm on one objective at the start of turn 5. You'll get your 5 points for that one. How? I'm on zero command points. You're on 0 command points. Let's go to Tyranids turn 5. Okay, at the start of turn 5, the Tyranids get 5 points for being on one objective there, which means on the primaries, I've got 40 points, you've got 25 points. And then we worked out some points. So for thin their ranks and bring it down for killing stuff, you got a total of 18 points. And 9 points for getting this mission center objective for the 4 and the 5. See, interestingly, I had it 3 turns in a row and I only got 6 for that. You had it for 2 turns, the last 2 turns, and got 9 points for that. But yeah, thin the ranks and bring it down was 18. And I got domination and mission for only 15. But I maxed out the primary. Well, I got 40 on the primaries and 25 on the primaries. Then we added up all the thing ranks. Long story short, as soon as I get my 5 points for that objective there, I've won 55 points to 52. And honestly, moving forward to try and get the mission 1 or domination or assassinate, I probably can't score any more points. I can't see how I can get on there. I might be able to assassinate that character with a few smites and things and psychic screams, maybe, but he's got 6 wounds or something. Yeah, I might be able to shoot him and that might get me 3 extra points. But basically, 55 to 52. At the end of the day, there was 3 points in it.
That was so close.
That was so close. And, of course, this is the way the world ends. Right, I've got that bit again. I think if you're a bit more aggressive with your Terminators at the beginning, you took turn 1, and you should have... The other ones staying back a little bit, fine, but they needed to just go, sod it, we're going to... Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, basically my thinking was... Because you just had such board presence, I was worried that if I put the Terminators in Deep Strike, I'm not going to be able to put them anywhere. However, what I didn't take into account is that this is a big board, not a small board.
This is a 6x4, yes.
Exactly. So my original thinking, and something I've done a lot with the Terminators, is that if you drop them out of Deep Strike, you can do the rapid fire or the double fire strat.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's another strat that Terminators get, which means you can target characters with shooting. So what
target characters with shooting?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I should have done is just drop them somewhere and just blapped a unit. Yeah. And then the unit next to it. Yeah. And then just kept going.
You say bigger board, this is a bigger board, but because we're firing lengthways, you're looking at 2 inches here and 2 inches there. It's not that significant when you fire lengthways. The smaller minimum size board sizes, I feel, work. You feel them more when you're fighting Dawn of War style that way across the table because there's less room for flanking around the edges.
True. But also, just a couple of things I underestimated. Like, even now, I still underestimate how tough Custodes Terminators are.
Right.
They could have weathered the fire if I'd pushed them further up the board, but I was too conservative. I should have been way more aggressive.
I think you're worried about all the smites.
Yeah, that too.
But even then, I mean, they've got 4 wounds each and a 6-up shrug, and there's 9 of them. Even if I killed, I don't know, if I got 8 wounds through on the smites and killed 2 of them, there's still 7 Terminators there. There's still 600, 500 points of Terminators coming out. Are you going to run 9 Terminators again? It seems like a bit much.
I mean, the other way of running it is a 5 and a 4, or 2 5s.
Right.
So you've got the power there.
But the other way of running it is just bring like 4 or 5 Terminators. Be sensible.
Yeah, but
don't have to
everything. Why would you be sensible? There's interesting things I've seen because with Custodes, there's now strats so that you can pass wounds off from characters to whatever you want. So a good way I've seen of doing that is a guy called Eric Trock, who's been experimenting with a 20 Alaris Terminator list.
Right.
So what happens is you immediately, at the beginning of the battle, unleash the lines on a squad of 10.
Okay.
Which means that you then pass off wounds from your characters there. And it's really difficult to target the Terminators because each one is a different thing.
Okay. So what? Oh yeah. Okay. So after you've wounded one a little bit, he can run off that way, and then so you can't split wounds across a unit of 10, because as soon as this guy's wounded, you keep wounding him until he's dead, and when this guy's wounded, you keep wounding him until he's dead. But if they all count as separate units, then you can mix and match and rotate them around so you can spread the wounds out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, for example, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. You could have potentially put 15 wounds on these 5 models and still them, because they're 4 wounds each, and still have them at full combat effectiveness.
Exactly.
Because they're 4 wounds each.
Yeah.
So instead of,
I think there is a lot of utility in having the bigger bombs of Valaris, but this is more I need to experiment with. I need to get used to being way more aggressive with the list.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm used to not having the CP or the defensive strats.
Against aggressive charging armies, Terminators on the table is actually the good thing to do, and then push forward. That works. I played against a friend the other day, and we didn't record it. And he brought a Deathwing list. Okay. And he hadn't played Orcs for ages. He's a friend, just he hadn't played Deathwing, and it's his first game in 9th edition. So can I play the game? You've got all the toys. It's like, yeah, man, let's come round, let's throw some dice. And he brought his Deathwing. And he chose, and he had big squads. You know, Deathwing, they come in and they have a free shooting in the movement phase before the shooting phase.
Okay.
That's what the Deathwing do. It's called Deathwing Assault. It's a 1-point strat. And in the movement phase, they shoot. Okay. And then you go to the shooting phase, they can do it all again. But you can put Fury, it's pretty brutal, particularly if you've got a captain with them.
Jesus.
But he didn't deploy them on the table because he wanted to do the bomb thing. And I had Orcs, so I spread out all over the place. Yeah. And he was coming in there anyway because he couldn't get in anywhere else. Which meant that he'd lost all that firepower that he could have potentially had in turn 1, which with Stormbolters rinses Orcs. They only have a 6-up save.
I mean, the other thing I could have done, and I've done before, is if you use the Telemon...
Yes. That's brutal, by the way. I love it.
It's so good. If you use the Telemon to screen out the banner guy...
Yes.
And then you use the Vixilla Teleport Homer for 3 CP, and then just bring down an Aris bomb wherever you want.
Yeah.
So you're protecting them, and you can just run up the board and be way more aggressive because he can't be targeted if he's standing behind this guy.
And you spent all your CP.
I spent so many CP.
Because Custodes have great stratagems now.
Oh, they're so good.
Even in the main rulebook, great stratagems.
Like, I started with 12, then I got 5 back because I got it all back, and then another 5, so that's 10. So I spent 12, 22 CP.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm very conscious of the fact that when I play Custodes, I play a very ABC list, and I've got 9 Terminators sat on that shelf there, and I've rarely used them. But that's because I'm so used to not... How many models did you have in this army? Like 20, 30?
22.
You've got hardly any models, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I play an army, I want some more models moving around, because if you lose 3 or 4, it's really, really painful. So I want to keep some models on the table, and so Terminators are so... I've got to experiment more. I mean, I've got 3 banners in here as well.
You've got 3 banners?
Yeah. And I've got these guys, which have never seen the light of the day. Thank you, T-Mac. I've never used the banners either. I like Wardens as well, because they have a 6-up feel no pain. I need to experiment with Custodes more, that's what I'm saying.
That's so good.
They are good. They are good. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that one. You just lost. Just a loss.
So close.
Tyranids doing what they do. It's very important to have a lot of troops that can spread out and capture objectives. Even if they're really weak, like the Tyranids, at least you're getting points for hardly any effort.
I just realised something as well.
What?
This is my first defeat on DZTV.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, this is on YouTube, so you still are undefeated on deploymentzone.tv.
Yes. Go watch those.
Yes. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that battle report. If you'd like to support me more, go and see deploymentzone.tv and sub there. You can support us on Patreon as well. Go to Patreon and Google in or type in DZTV. Thank you for coming down.
It's quite alright. Always great to be here.
I hope everyone enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.